Cycles and curved shapes play a bigger role in building than one might think. Hello everyone, my name is Wolf and today I'm going to show you how to build those. Aside from the obvious use in towers, paths and streets, and more interesting roofs, curved shapes also are fundamental for organics like animals, humans or trees. Well, this is a corner not very cycle-like. This is slightly better, but not really. Something like this is what we are looking for, and if you look closely, building this isn't that difficult at all. Just decrease the number of blocks for each line, then increase them again. So in this example it will go like 4, then 3, 2, 1, 2 again, 3 again, and then 4 again. And that is all that it needs to build a nice symmetrical curve. At least it is a good starting point, and it is up to you to decide whether you want to improve it further by changing up the order of your lines. Of course you can also scale it up and down, but then the smallest curve possible is also a corner. Taking a step back, you might have noticed that this curve could also be a quarter of a cycle, so when we go over here and build it again and add in those missing quarters, we have a quite decent cycle, at least for Minecraft. And with this further improved one, we would get a circle like this, which is even looking a little bit better. It is important to take a step back to have a look and then adjust your cycle or curved shape how you need to. Honestly, this is the trickiest part and it needs some trial and error, but I'm sure you've got it. It is already quite big, but you can also go smaller. But the smaller you get, the more square-like it becomes. The tiniest cycle after all is a single block, and those are a square. Scaling this up a bit leaves us with a thing that with a lot of imagination could be a cycle. Building in Minecraft always uses a lot of our imagination. For this one I added in those small corners, because otherwise I would again create just diagonals. It is important to avoid them, otherwise it will look off. And opposite to how the smaller your cycle is, the more difficult it is, the easier it gets to build a cycle the bigger it gets, though you have to be a bit careful to not lose your overview. Building cycles surely takes some practice, but once you've figured it out it's quite easy. Just remember to focus on your first quarter and make that look as good as possible, for the rest you can just copy it. You might find out that sometimes you have to leave out lines, add small corners or make your biggest line bigger, much bigger than the others. But then again you might not always need those perfectly symmetrical curved shapes. Sometimes you need a bit of asymmetry and chaos. For this, just change up how you place your lines of blocks and you might even want to leave out some again. Keep in mind the more you get up, the steeper your curve gets, and the more you go to the sides the flatter it becomes. But also keep in mind to keep the transition smooth. For this you can use the same techniques as in the beginning, increase and decrease the numbers of your blocks how you need to. I guess just hop into a creative world and play around for a bit, and remember, just because I said to do something so and so, it is still your choice how you want to build. There might be other ways to build cycles and curved shapes, but this is how I like to do it, so I hope it was at least a bit helpful for you. Also, it is totally okay to use help like pixel cycle generators and just copy the result. After all, building is about fun. So, until the next time, goodbye!